friendship that'll never ever end.
Run!
It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. Reaction Beanie, yo, 821. Tighten that neighborhood, my brothers and sisters. It is that time to get into another one of these true crime, horror, dark, deep, and mysterious, what the is going on type of videos. And today, we are going back to Mike from that chapter. It is always a delight when we get to go back to Mike. And the title of the video is Man's Missing Ex Found Chopped Up in Basement Freezer. Now, just from the title, Bean Team, I think it's safe to assume that the man is the one who cut up his ex and put her in the basement freezer. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know for sure. But we're about to see. But before we see, y'all know what y'all got to do. Get whatever you may need. Get what you need, please. We are back for a That Chapter Wednesday. Y'all got what y'all need. Y'all ready to go? Then let's go.
Hey you, and welcome. My name is Mike. And in this old video, when a woman was rummaging around in her basement, she decided to have a go at a freezer a friend had just moved in last week. She shouldn't have looked in that freezer. I mean, she should have, but for her own nightmares, it wasn't the best idea. See, a fella in Ohio, he was up to some devilment, and he wasn't up to it alone. See, this story, it's a love story. And by love, I mean shit. It's very disturbing, so let's give it a go.
Let's give it a go and get whatever you may need. And yeah, this story already starting off as sugar honey iced tea, like Mike just said. Just the fact that I'm thinking from the title also that her body was found inside their home in the basement. No, some kind of way, and we gonna get the details. The freezer was moved into a whole different lady home who ain't have nothing to do with this ish. That right there by itself is diabolical. Let's give it a go.
Today, my friends, we are heading to Ohio. Yippee! It's always Ohio. Even when it's Florida or Texas, it's Ohio. Today, it's Youngstown, Ohio, a city in the eastern part of the state. Youngstown was a coal town. Now it's just sort of a town, home to a touch shy of 60,000 people. Honestly, most interesting thing about it was that it was at one point ranked one of the most dangerous cities in America, coming in at number 9, with the friggin' mafia controlling large amounts of the city. That's pretty interesting. I mean, not good interesting, but interesting. Much like this story, which began, folks, in the year 2017. A neighbouring town of Youngstown is a place called Campbell, and that's where the 911 call came in on July 30th, 2017.
Emergency. My name is Ken Esteban. Me and my wife, we just found a dead body in our freezer. Dead body? A freezer. My friend called last week. He said my electricity's off. Can I put my freezer in your basement? And I said, yeah.
Alright, it's okay, sir. What's your name again?
My name's Ken Esteban. I'm sitting right in front of my house.
Is it a male? Is it a female?
I think it's a female.
Campbell...
Man, can you imagine being in that man's shoes? Finding a freaking dead body in a freezer in your home and you like you have no idea. Like, this ain't even your freezer. You just letting your homeboy freezer stay here because it's electricity out. Now, I wonder, did the homeboy know it was a woman body in the freezer? Or did he get tricked by another homeboy? Like, how deep does this go, being team? And let me check something out real quick, y'all. Because it sounds low to me, but the volume all the way up. Let's keep giving it a go.
It's like right beside Youngstown, and it doesn't have a much better reputation for crime and criminality, sure you know yourself. But a report of a body being found in a freezer? I think that was a new one, even for the Campbell police. As it would be probably for most people, I think. As it was for Ken and Jill Eschenbaugh. It was certainly a first for them. Police raced to the scene and found the big old freezer in the basement of Jill and Ken Eschenbaugh's home. And this freezer they found in the basement, it wasn't like the freezer they used or anything. Like, it'd be pretty surprising if they mistook this for their Thanksgiving turkey. The human was all bagged up in these big black sacks that had been stored inside the freezer, and Ken he'd removed all the black sacks and been, oh, what's this? This! It was a truly horrifying discovery. Body parts were dismembered inside these black bags, but had frozen into one big block. It's about as horrifying as it gets. There were arms, legs, teeth, parts of a torso, parts of a spine in there. In fact, the only thing that seemed to be missing was the head. There was no head in there. The Eschenbaughs, who had found this in their own basement, they were pretty horrified, which, I mean, not gonna lie, that's pretty normal as far as, like, baseline reactions go. And the Eschenbaughs, Jill and Ken, they were both questioned separately by police, just in case, there wasn't any sort of, oh wow, look at this! How did that get in there? They were in shock finding this, like, weren't exactly, expecting it.
Monday, July 17th, he brings his freezer over. You tell him where to put it?
Yeah. I told him, I said, as soon as you walk in the basement door, there's a little thing, just put it in there, I said, there's a plug right there you can plug it into.
Did you notice at the time there was a padlock on it?
I didn't even look at the freezer.
I just thought it was spoiled meat at first. I was hoping that it was just spoiled meat. And I said, it just stinks too bad. I said, just put it back. I said, just wrap it up and put it back, get it back there. And he went to go open the other one, and it was the same thing. It was tied, and then he cut that one, and then he opened, there was another bag inside of that. And when he cut that open, that's when he saw the foot in the bag.
Okay.
And he said, it's a foot. I said, no, it can't be. And I went over to where he was at, and I was like, oh my God, it is.
See, what happened was that old...
Like, those images will never leave those people. What they saw when they took those trash bags out of that freezer and cut them open and seen an actual human foot, they'll forever and ever remember that.
Jill Eschenbaugh, she'd been cooking some meatballs over here. And she'd been, chopping up the tomatoes, boiling the spaghettis. When she realized she didn't have any meats for the old ballerinos. Going to the shops, going to the store to pick up some, minced meat. You must be joking, get out of here. Hassle of that. She remembered, a friend of ours. They left their freezer down in the basement. Maybe I'll just, don't mind if I do, snoop around. Have a little goo. Maybe I can just borrow some of their beef or whatever I find in there for dinner. The freezer had been dropped over by a friend not long before. This friend said the power was shut off at his place and he didn't want anything defrosting from his freezer. So he brought it to the Eschenbaughs, plugged that sucker in, said hold on to it for a while till I get my shit back up and running. And I mean, I can't imagine he missed the corpse in his freezer, so that'll give you a good clue as to what was going on over here. Anyways, Snoopy Jill, she went down, decided she was going to have a goo, see if there was any meat she could use for dinner. But, thing was, the freezer was padlocked. Must be some extra good beef in there. And Jill decided, this is kind of a strange part, is that a friend had given them their freezer to hold on to and had padlocked it, and Jill decides, why don't I just let myself into their freezer? I mean, it's obviously padlocked for a reason, but Jill said, nah, no good reason. I'm gonna break my friend's lock and help myself. She got a screwdriver, and the padlock had been installed like upside down, so it was very easy to break open it. She opened that sucker up, but instead of seeing, piles and piles of meat in packages, she just saw those like orange Home Depot buckets, and lots of black sacks. She got a bad feeling right away. I mean, the smell alone when she opened it sort of gave the game away. Jill waited for her husband to come home from work, called Ken down to the basement, and, well, have a good look, because that's the weirdest beef I've ever smelt. Ken then took the bags out, opened them up. I don't think I want to eat that, he called the cops. So, who was this friend who had brought the freezer over? Well, to answer that, we gotta go back in time to talk about a girl named Shannon Graves.
And this the part I'm wondering right now. Who was the friend who brought this ish over to your house?
Folks, we're starting to get a wee chill in the air, and that can only mean one thing.
I think Mike gone to his commercial too, y'all. But yes, and I'm starting to lean towards that he more than likely knew that the body was in there, right? Because the padlock was on there. He more than likely was the freaking killer, but what possessed you to think it was smart to bring a freaking dead body to your friend's house? Like, how do you even think that was smart? I don't know, Bean Team. Shout out to Mike commercial. Let's go.
Raycon.com/chapter-open to get 20% off. That's buyraycon.com/chapter.
Hold up. Let's go.
Shannon Graves was born in 1988, the daughter of Krista Graves and Ronnie DePaul. She was sort of a surprise child, our Shannon. It's such a surprise to Ronnie that he didn't even know she existed until Shannon was 5 years old. Sort of one of those, geez, didn't see you there sort of moments. But once Christine informed Ronnie that, hey, look what I got, Shannon was welcomed into the DePaul family with open arms. She had a sister, Debbie, and a brother, Antonio, AJ, waiting right for her, who were only delighted to have a new sister. Growing up, Shannon had many friends, who all called her Star, which she certainly seemed to be. She was kind, big-hearted, and would help anyone who needed it, and obsessed over two things: her new younger brother AJ and her dog, Molly. In 2015, Shannon attended and graduated from Raphael's School of Beauty Culture in Boardman, Ohio. Her graduation was filmed at potato quality, but her teacher, or whatever the shit, spoke pretty glowingly of her, and she spoke for herself.
She did her clients, and she does a great job. She knows how to do pressing curls, flat irons, pedicures, manicures. She's got her requests coming. I mean, when she's here. She's constantly busy. She doesn't give her client, okay, no problem. Can I have that one? No problem. I hate to see her go because she's one of those students that didn't really complain. And if she did, you laughed it off because it was fun. That was just Shannon. And her mouth, good thing it was in the smoke pit and not here. But you know what? She never complained in front of her clients. And she did her best every time. I can't believe it's here.
Oh, I'm excited, yay!
Hey, we're gonna miss her.
I'm gonna miss you. Well, so I can't talk because you all know my mouth. I have no filter, so I'm gonna keep it short and try not to. I don't even know what to say. I'm scared. I'm scared to even talk because you guys know. It's like impossible.
Now Shannon, she's sort of, one of those people, led her own life. She didn't see her family like too often. But you best believe, birthdays, holidays, any of those sort of like big events, Shannon would be in there like swimwear. She would always make an appearance. She would always show the face. So it was weird when she stopped doing just that. Shannon's sister, Debbie, her birthday passed in March of 2017 with nary a word from her. Shannon started missing Sunday dinners, holidays, all that. Now that wasn't entirely out of character. Sure, they didn't know she existed till she was 5, and she would come and go as she pleased, might not see her for a while, but that was just Shan being Shan. She was a 28-year-old woman, always up to some new adventure. But she always showed up for the important things. See, Shannon, she was a Scorpio. Which tells me absolutely nothing about her, other than she had the tattoo of a scorpion on her little foot. So she either liked scorpions or astrology, one of the two. Shannon began missing more and more of those big important family events. And then early summer 2017 came around, and Shannon's dad, Ronnie, he started calling around to those who knew her. Where the hell is my daughter? This ain't like her. Her dad called Shannon's boyfriend at the time, or her last known boyfriend, a fella named Arturo. Arturo spoke to Ronnie on the phone and he says, "You're not gonna believe this shit. She dumped me, moved to Cleveland or Columbus with some new fella, if you can believe that." If you haven't heard from her, well sure, that just makes two of us. I haven't seen Shannon since I had a grasshopper on my knee, or whatever that saying is. Calls to Shannon, they just simply went nowhere. Till her younger brother, AJ, who she absolutely adored, texted her. Basically, like, if she's gonna respond to anybody, she would respond to him. He finally got a reply from Shannon's phone. The reply being, "Who is this? Your brother?" "I don't have a brother." That wasn't Shannon using that number anymore, and nobody knew where Shannon Graves was. She was reported missing to Youngstown police in June of 2017. She had last actually been seen mid-February 2017. Police, they checked jails, hospitals, couldn't find any trace of her. She had last been known to be living with her boyfriend Arturo, and he told police the same story he told Ronnie. She dumped him and left with a new fella for Cleveland or somewhere like that. I don't know what else to tell you. He still had Shannon's beloved dog Molly, and he was taking care of Molly, as he believed she'll come back. I mean, she might, for the dog anyways. However, details were pretty scarce from there. Working backwards though, they found out that the fella she'd been seeing before Arturo, John was his name, he was an interesting guy. And by interesting, I mean criminal. John worked in roofing and in roofies. He was a drug dealer and who had been kind of like in and out of prison. They actually had only broken up when he had went to prison, but they still sort of stayed in touch, Shannon and John. And get this, John was actually released from prison right before Shannon vanished. John was questioned, you know, I haven't seen her since Valentine's Day, mid-February 2017, which is right around the time she was last seen. John said he tried to, you know, win Shannon back, but she was with Arturo by then, and she had told John she was going to give Arturo, like, one more chance to see if this works out, and if it doesn't, she'll give John a call. But she never did, and she was never heard from again. That was John's story. So you have Arturo saying she left him for another man, and then you have John saying she wouldn't leave another man for him.
And that's why I'm sitting right here scratching my head right now, being seen like, who do I believe? Who is lying? Are they both freaking lying? I'll just put it to you this way. I don't believe Arturo's story the most. Like she just up and left and moved to Cleveland or wherever he said, and now she just left and staying with a whole nother boyfriend. Dude, okay, maybe that's true, and maybe I could believe that part, like she just up and left you, she don't want to be with you no more, or she just feel like she found something better, fell in love, whatever, with somebody else. But that don't explain the part why she not being in contact with her family and friends. That's the thing right there. That don't explain the part that her little brother texting her and she like, who is this? I don't have a brother, because clearly that's not even Shannon who he was texting with. I'm thinking that the whole number that got changed and everything. Like, this lady been missing for a long time, bruh. Even if she did go with another dude, I'm pretty sure she would have been contacting her family at least. Let's go. I don't believe Arturo the most. Let's just put it that way. Long story short, short story long.
But other than two alibis of the likely people, investigators had nothing. Her cell phone had gone silent in February, the number then assigned to someone else. Her bank activity had stopped around then, and it all went quiet. The Graves and DePaul family really got into helping with the search, as did John, if you can believe that. Maybe he truly did want her back. But regardless, they were coming up empty. No sign, hide nor hear.
I think it's a female. I need a Camel police here right away.
Then, about a month after she was reported missing, a 911 call came in about something in the freezer.
We have no identification on the remains at this time. It has gone to Cuyahoga County Coroner's Office, where there's going to be a examination, and we'll know more later on this week.
When the horrifying remains were discovered, there was no head, but eventually, they identified the remains found from the scorpion tattoo on the foot. It was Shannon Graves, but not all of her was in that freezer. And no cause of death could be established because they didn't have her head. So the Eschenbachs were questioned and cleared. But kind of want to explain the murder freezer you got going on in here? Jill told police that they had been given it about a week earlier by a friend to hold onto, as this friend's power was going to be cut and they didn't want to lose all that good meat that they had. I mean, that's what they said. And this friend's name? Anthony Gonzalez. Who the shit is he?
Why don't you start with how you met Anthony?
Okay, I met Anthony. I went over to my neighbor's house, and I was playing some music that I made, and then that's the Anthony was there. He liked the music. He said he was a rapper, everybody's a rapper. But he really liked my music, because we worked something out, right? And he started hanging around, and, we were playing Xbox together, just typical friendship stuff,
Did you know this girl named Star?
I knew her from when Anthony brought her to the house.
And when was that?
So police started, digging in. Who is this mysterious Anthony Gonzalez? What was his relationship with Shannon, and where is he now? Shady Anto, I call him. Well, shady, sure, shit, right? Because digging further into this mysterious Anto, it turns out that that was just an alias of somebody the police had already spoken to. Arturo Novoa.
Wow.
Ken and Jill Eschenbach knew him as Anthony Gonzalez.
Wow, dude. I started thinking about it too, like Anthony, Anturo. Same freaking person. Tomato to freaking tomato bean team. It's him, man. And he was the one I was like, I don't believe his story at all. Like, if I had to choose one, you are the guilty one. Dude got all these freaking aliases, but we still know it's you.
Arturo. Anthony. You know him as Anthony. Do you know him as Arturo?
No.
You don't know that that's his real name?
I mean, I know that it is his real name, but I'm sure I mean last name. Yeah, that's the last. Oh, that's it. Okay, yeah, that's Anthony.
Police discovered that Arturo, he hadn't been waiting for Shannon like he said. In fact, when they questioned him, he already had a new girl, Katrina Layton, who had moved in with him in late February, around the time Shannon vanished. And that Arturo had also had a few run-ins with the law himself. Drugs, but more importantly, in the April just gone, April 2017, Shannon's car had been caught committing some minor traffic offense. Shannon wasn't driving the car. A cop had tried to pull the car over. They kept driving. A small car chase ensued, followed by a foot chase. It was Artur Novoa who had been driving Shannon's car. Now, he was chased down, he was tasered, he was arrested, but he was released on bond. That's, not looking good. So Arturo was saying he hadn't seen her since February. In April, he was arrested driving her car. Then he gives a freezer to a friend asking him to hold onto it, and Shannon was found in that very freezer. It's almost like this guy's a giant piece of shit or something.
Did you, at any point, take a freezer to a house in Campbell?
I did not.
You did not?
I did not.
The last time you saw Shannon was when?
I don't even know. Like the end of February.
Okay. You have no idea what became of her? Where she ended up?
I do not. I've said this to everybody.
Okay. Why do you think you're here? The charge is abuse of a corpse.
Excuse me?
Abuse of a corpse.
Are you being serious right now?
I'm not fooling with you, man.
You're 100% serious.
I would not make
right
this up. Yeah, absolutely.
now? I don't believe it.
Well, I would be sitting here with you at, 10 o'clock at night, and if I wasn't talking about a body in a freezer that you brought to a guy's house. No, I'm making it up, man. What the Your dishwasher job at the Outback is okay?
He talking about, are you serious? Yes, I'm serious, bro. I can tell right now, Bean Team. He one of those ones. He one of those ones that's gonna be a liar to the end. One of those I didn't do it crowd, even though we got a lot of evidence pointing towards it being you, bro. You sitting up here, you lying from the very beginning, talking about you didn't bring the freezer to your friend's house. You know what I'm saying? And that's another lesson right there within itself, Bean Team. You don't trust your friends, or whatever I should be saying. Did you trust? Don't think everybody your friends. Put it that way, because now that he about to go down for this ish, he ready to throw them under the bus, and he the one who freaking put the damn body in they freaking house. And now he trying to act like he ain't put it there. So maybe the cops will think that they the ones who did it. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, man, just watch out and just try to be safe when it comes to who you deem as a friend and who is not. But best believe we the Bean Team.
I know I didn't kill her. I have kids. I have a job. I know I didn't kill her.
You're going to go over to the jail, and by tomorrow your booking picture's going to be all over the newspaper.
Yeah, I realize this.
You're going to be on TV.
I realize this. For something I didn't do.
Well,
Arturo and Katrina were taken in. While they were being questioned, a search of his apartment found a giant meat cleaver, an owner's manual of the very freezer in question, a key that matched the lock on the freezer, and blood. Both Arturo and Katrina denied all accusations. They were both placed under arrest for abusing a corpse. Then John came back in. Though probably not in the way you're thinking. I see your gears grinding, big dog. It seems like John truly wanted to get back with Shannon. Like, he made a huge mistake by getting broken up or breaking up with her. Because, since she had been reported missing, he'd been conducting his own little investigation to find out what had happened to her. And he had learned something new about the March of 2017, not long after she had disappeared. He had learned a story that very much related to Arturo and Katrina. John had discovered that a friend of a friend had had a big bonfire in March in their backyard. Bring the boys around, we'll get a few beers here and celebrate, springtime. One of the lads who came around was Arturo. And while everybody was enjoying this spring bonfire, Arturo and Katrina both showed up with big black sacks and just started throwing shit onto the fire. Things like paper, clothing, and a bracelet with the name Shannon written on it. The fire eventually got so big, the fire department had to be called. And the next day, some items, they still remained. And the thing was, Arturo and Katrina were not alone. There was a third person with them. Not a third person. His name was Andrew Herman. Or rather, Mr. Steal Your Girl. Whoa, he's cool.
I asked him how everything was going, and he pretty much, he told me that she left him, she wasn't staying with him anymore. Basically, what he wanted me to do is, he wanted me to help him get rid of the last of her crap that she left there. Okay. Old documents, couple clothes, stupid shit like that. I figured he was being spiteful, and I kind of helped him burn it. But now, over the months, and everything's going on, she seems to be missing. Nobody seems to be able to know where she is. Everybody's telling different stories. What the hell did he have me do?
looking at things. Here's a guy who calls you up to help him burn his shit at some people's house that he doesn't know. There's you and there's people. That's a lot of people to involve if he did something wrong. You know what I mean? Like,
right. Like I said, I wasn't really thinking about it.
Yeah, no, I mean, that's a whole lot of people that, I mean, if you kill somebody, would you call somebody to help you burn a clothes at somebody's house that you never met?
Right, you figure that's something you just do on your own.
Yeah. The only reason I can see that he would ask you to do that, if he did that, is if you knew, if you saw. Otherwise, if I killed you right now, and he wasn't in the room, I would never tell him about it. If he was in the room, I'd be like, we gotta get rid of him. Make sense?
Right.
So, the only reason, if he actually did something to her, and we're not, still an F, would be as if you actually had personal knowledge. So,
wish I could give you more.
No, I know. I understand. This girl was last seen in February. You were burning her shit in March, and you were helping burn the shit. Now, that doesn't necessarily mean you know something, but it looks like you know something. If you have any other knowledge, this is a good time. If it's something he just said in passing. If you happen to be there when he lost his shit and killed her, and it was like, holy you just do that, this would be the time.
No, I feel like he was playing me like a pawn. It's ridiculous.
Yeah.
I don't know, Bean Team. I'm 50-50 on that. I don't know if he knew that Shannon was deceased when he helped dispose of the body or not. You know what I'm saying, man? I don't know. I'm kind of 50-50. I kind of want to lean towards the way that he did know. But then the officer was kind of making it seem like it's hard to believe that a friend, let me put it in quotation marks, a friend would have you help dispose of a body without you knowing about it. But we have heard of cases like that before. And it's very plausible in the times we live in that somebody would do some effed up ish like that, got you throwing away trash bags, you think it's clothes or whatever up in them, and it's actually human body parts. I can believe that too, so I don't know. Hopefully we get a conclusion on that at the end of this too. But most importantly, I hope freaking Arturo Anthony Antonio, whatever alias he want to use, I hope he get life in prison. And Katrina, she need a hard punishment too, because she maybe was in on the whole damn thing from the whole freaking beginning.
So now you have 3 people involved in the disappearance and likely murder of Shannon Graves, Arturo Novoa, Katrina Layden, and Andrew Herman. And they were all definitely there at a bonfire trying to destroy any evidence related to Shannon Graves. And this is like, what, couple of weeks after she had last been seen. And it turns out that what they did, you don't want to know. But I'll tell you, because this is a true crime video and it's kind of the point. Police slowly pulled the story together, interviewing friends, neighbors, lovers, drug dealers, and all of that, because, as I said, this is Youngstown, and it's not exactly the greatest. I'll give you a rundown of what happened, because it is absolutely frickin' insane. Arturo met and started dating Shannon in April of 2016, and it went just swell, and in September of that year, they moved in together. Katrina Layden, though, always sorta in the picture. She had previously dated Arturo as well, and she wanted him back for good, and had a real grudge against Shannon. Friends and people, in their circle would say, yeah, Katrina happily admitted she wanted to kill Shannon. Now, the relationship between Shannon and Arturo was tumultuous to say the least. Like, Arturo was not shy with the fists. Even in December of 2016, they broke up for about a week before they kind of, got back together. Because I'm sure he'll change, they always do. And things didn't get any better from there, if you can believe that. When John got out of prison, he contacted Shannon on Valentine's Day, trying to win her back. But Shannon said, I'm gonna give Arturo one more opportunity, one more chance to see how things go. But that turned out to be a big mistake. It was 10 days later, February 24th, 2017, that Arturo beat Shannon Graves to death with a hammer in their bathroom. He panicked, needed to get rid of the body, and so Arturo called someone he knew would do anything for him. Katrina, who he knew was in love with him. They shaved Shannon's head, then wrapped her body in garbage bags and placed her in the trunk of a car, then drove to Andrew Herman's house. Andrew and Arturo were friends via drugs, shocker. And it was the two of them, they dismembered Shannon in Andrew's house. Andrew would of course later say, he only did it of course because he was afraid Arturo was going to kill him if he didn't help him out, so had to do it. They then tried to get rid of the evidence via that bonfire I mentioned. Then Arturo and Katrina, big Breaking Bad fans, and if you've seen the show, which is good, a big plot point in the first season is them trying to get rid of a body via acid, like melting the body. And so Katrina and Arturo were sitting there watching this. Ding, 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 ding. If it works in a fictional TV show, ooh, maybe it'll work for us. So using an alias, Chicken Man, which is another Breaking Bad reference, they ordered 12 gallons of sulfuric acid from Walmart. They wanted to use that to get rid of, the entirety of Shannon's body, but it was enough to dissolve her skull and most of her torso. The rest they packed up and just left in the freezer. However, as months went by, more and more questions were being asked. Where's Shannon? Katrina moved into Arturo's apartment with her 2 children. They became owners of Shannon's dog Molly. They used Shannon's car, used Shannon's EBT card, and it was when the missing persons report for Shannon Graves was finally filed, that was when Arturo really began to shit bricks.
Like, just the audacity to be using her car, using her EBT card. And the thing that hit me is the fact that y'all got her dog. The dog don't know no better, but that is just so freaking effed up and sad at the same time. You know what I'm saying, man? This dog loving y'all, and this dog don't know that y'all killed their original owner. You get what I'm saying, Bean Team? Like, oh my goodness, man. Another thing that's crazy, this lady brought her 2 children into this home with this freaking dude that you know murdered his past ex that he moved on from you with and then started getting back with you, so he got rid of her and now y'all back together. You don't realize that this man is crazy and he may end up doing something to your children? No, you don't realize that because your ass crazy too.
Worried that the police might search his apartment as he was, the former boyfriend of the missing, Arturo contacted some friends of his, the Eschenbaus. Hey, can I store this freezer in your house? And he padlocked it. Oh, they'll never search it if I just padlock it. And yeah, they said sure. He made up the excuse about, the power in my apartment is going to be cut, and I've got some good shit in here. So like at 3 a.m. in the middle of the night, he brought that freezer containing Shannon Graves' remains to their house, into their basement, plugged the sucker in so it would keep frozen, and then left, hoping that the police would search his apartment, find no freezer, and move on. But it was a week later that Jill Eschenbaugh, hungry for meat for her spaghetti, she opened that freezer and found meat of the very worst kind.
New at 6, 2 people have been charged with murder for that woman's death after her body was found in a freezer. Arturo Novoa and Katrina Layton were indicted today by the grand jury. Now, the body of Shannon Graves was discovered along Camel's Devitt Avenue in August. She'd been missing for months.
It was in September that Arturo and Katrina were charged with murder, amongst numerous other charges. Andrew Herman was also charged with numerous charges in helping dispose of her corpse and destroying evidence. But, as it turns out, there would never be any trial for these 3 goons, so truly we might never really know what actually happened to Shannon Graves. Each would plead guilty. Katrina being the first to plead. She flipped first because of her 2 kids. She wanted to get out and be with her children. So when she did and said she would happily testify against the other 2, they were like, well, they saw the writing on the wall, knew this would not end well for them, and they too would take whatever deal was offered.
You understand that if you plead guilty today, you're making a complete admission to all of these charges.
Artur Novoa was sentenced to 48 years to life in prison. Which, 48 years is a life, so good luck on that one. Katrina was sentenced to 18 years in prison. Katrina, by the way, this is kind of gas. She really screwed the pooch on this one. Because as I said, Katrina, she flipped. She took the deal first and agreed to tell the full story of what happened. And usually, whoever kind of flips first gets the best deal. Katrina got a deal so good, she was simply going to get time served. Time served, which would have been like 2 years. And she had spent 2 years in jail by that point, so she would have been home free. Except, Katrina did something she was not supposed to do. While in jail, she phone called her old flame Arturo. She just couldn't stay away. She had helped dispose of a body for him, so she couldn't stay away. And Katrina was not supposed to do that. So, yoink, the deal was revoked. Katrina Layton was sentenced to 18 years in prison. A whole 18 years when she'd just been trying to get out to see her kids. Like, ooh, that's gotta hurt. She got
Yeah, Katrina, you screwed the pooch for real, and I'm glad you did screw the freaking pooch. I'm glad your ass stand up and up for them 18 years, man. You crazy as hell. After all this you done went through, you still gonna goddamn call a Turo while y'all going, when the cat is out of the bag. We got pooches, we got cats. We just living in the animal kingdom right now. We got canines and felines being team. Like, what the freak, man? I'm glad that happened to her, though.
18 years to think about that mistake.
To truly apologize for everything that I was involved in, anything. It just wasn't okay.
Andrew Herman, he got 12 years for helping dispose of a corpse amongst the other numerous charges and the other shit he had done. And folks, that is it. That is today's tale. You know, and that's the thing, a motive. We still don't know why Arturo Novoa murdered Shannon Graves in the bathroom with a hammer. I mean, did he just snap? Did he just flip out? I mean, he's a violent piece of shit, but it's just like horrifying. I mean, hey, I'm not gonna feel sorry for any of those three dipshits. So it's kind of like, you know, good riddance to them. I do feel sorry for the Graves family, the DePaul family, and, you know, John, who had, you know, he had been sort of instrumental in helping solve this case, and I guess, you know, he really regretted losing Shannon. And as each pleaded guilty, we will never know the truth. But what we do know is that they got what they deserved.
Facts.
Shanae, thank you so much for watching, folks. It really means the absolute world to me that you were here watching this whole video. I hope you found it as interesting as I did. As always, you can check out brand new exclusive episodes on the That Chapter podcast every Monday, free, available on all podcast platforms, so give it a go. Most recent episode, we were talking about the Smurl family haunting, which is just like the new Conjuring movie. All sorts of creepy, spooky tales that, you know, we don't tell here on the videos. You can also check out the That Chapter Patreon. $2 a month, you get early access ad-free, all videos. There's a whole playlist of Patreon exclusive videos and, you know, extra content and all that sort of thing in a Discord. So, you know what, give it a go if you want to, but I mean, come on. Who am I to tell you what to do? Until the next Soul video, which will be up soon, maybe even sometimes on Fridays. Who knows these things? Please take care of each other. Please take care of yourselves. Because I love you. Mike out.
Another That Chapter Wednesday, Bean Team. Another great video from Mike. It is always a delight when we get to go back to Mike. And I just gotta say that I agree with Mike, man. It's facts, and it is kind of effed up that we will never know what truly happened, what was the real motives of why he did this ish. But at the same time, man, all three people are being held accountable. And I'm kind of, I would say I'm more on the okay side of their sentencings. You know what I'm saying, man? He got 48 years. He already 40 something, I think. You know what I'm saying? He pretty much got a life sentence. He got 48 years to life in prison. He gon' die in prison. Her, Katrina, 18 years. It could have been a little better, but I'm good with it. I just hate the whole fact that she could have got away scot-free if she was using her brain, but she never had a brain. That's why she in this freaking predicament. But I'm good with that sentence. The 12 years even for the accomplice dude. It could have been more. If it was me, I would have probably gave him 20 to life or 20 to something. But I'm even good with that one, man. I'm pretty much good with it, being team. I hate she lost her life, though. Rest in peace to Shannon. But at least we know what happened. It's really not an unsolved mystery. Y'all know how I be trying to look at the bright side of these terrible situations, man. But like I said, rest in peace to her. And that was just, it was just one of those illogical thinkings that this dude had to think that I can leave a dead body or somebody that I killed in a freezer and take it to my friend's house. Like, it never crossed your mind that some kind of way, some possibility they may open this freezer, even if you got a padlock on it. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad he did it though, so he can end up getting caught. But it's like, dude, that was just so illogical, so freaking illogical. But I digress. I'm gonna go let y'all go, Big Team. I appreciate y'all coming on back as always, Big Team. And before you leave, just please hit that like button, comment, subscribe, and do all that if you ain't did that yet. And remember this: love, peace, and happiness. Stay safe. Don't stop. Keep going. Yeah.
If you're feeling